Right, Shalom. First and foremost, I to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And I give double honors to the apostles of great milestone do rule well. Salutations to the men of the Hope Land Saints elect. This is Brother Makazar from the Trinidad camp. Just want to do a little edification for the elect's sake. And the name of this lesson will be Know What You Have Signed Up For. Know what you have signed up for. As the scripture said, to count the cost. Alright, because this truth, when you come into this truth basically it's gonna require changes within oneself. Alright, it's gonna require physical change and also mental change. So basically when you come into this truth, you're gonna be brainwashed. Alright, you're gonna be brainwashed. When I say brainwashed, I mean, as the scripture says, you have to become a fool to become wise. So basically the things that you once knew, you have to relinquish all that and become a new individual. All right. Hence the reason the scripture says, wherewithal, because you run not with them with the same excessive right, they speak evil of you. Because why? Because you put off that old man. So you come into this truth, changes will be made. So you have to know what you signed up for. And this lesson is specifically targeting the new members coming in, young men coming in, and also the sisters. All right, and also the aquation, that believe. All right, you have to acknowledge what you into. All right, when you come into this, your lifestyle changes. Your lifestyle changes, and you either accept those changes, or as Yahushua says, you are not all clean. All right. You can't be partially cleaned in this thing. You have to be completely cleaned. You have to dip completely in that river, which is this word. All right? Not preferring one thing before another, as the scripture says. You have to believe in everything and try your utmost best to live according to everything as much as you could, and not say, well, we're in captivity, so, I will do this or I will do that. Nah, it don't work like that. All right? When you come into this truth, you have to know what you signed up for. One of the main things coming into this truth, you have to know that guess what? As the scripture says, when thou comest to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation and, tribulation and sorrows and the hardship that comes with this truth pursuing to, I believe it's 2 Timothy 3:12, it says, all that live godly shall suffer persecution. That is one of the main things that cause men and women to actually want to leave the truth. All right? And it shouldn't be. It should not be. All right, so we're going to get straight in it. This is Philippians chapter 1, verse 29. For unto you it is given in the behalf of Mashiach, which we see Christ here, but Christ is actually a Greek word. The real word there, which is anointed, is Mashiach in the Hebrew. All right, so we substitute Christ for Mashiach, just like we substitute that pagan name Jesus for his real name, Yahushai. I saw a video once where a guy said, whether you call him Jesus or Yeshua, Hamashiach, or whatever the case is, demons quiver and fear. Guess what? Demons don't give a damn about Jesus. To hell with Jesus. All right? To hell with Jesus. All right? Christ can't do nothing. Jesus can't do shit. Jehovah ain't nothing. Allah ain't shit. All right? The names are Yahweh and Yahushai. Those are the names that demons quiver in. In Acts, when the demon spoke to Paul and said, Yahushai, I know. He didn't mention Christ. He did not mention Christ. All right. So we're going on. It says, for unto you it is given in the behalf of Mashiach, not only to believe on him, but also to suffer for his sake. You're going to suffer for his sake. You're going to catch hell. Remember this. Remember, as the scripture says, as it was your way to go astray from him, be returned, seek him 10 times more. You know the reason why you seek him 10 times more? Because the hardship that it's going to take, think about it this way, right? Think about it this way. Think about the kingdom of heaven being like a rapid river. All right? So this river has strong currents. This river has strong currents. All right? And it had a pleasant feel that was near dwelling to the top of the origin of this river. And that is where the Lord put his people. All right, the children of Israel. Now we got curious and wanted to know how or what was at the end of the river. So one by one, we decided to jump into this river and we were swept away. Now the current taking us away from the Lord quick. The current is the world. The current in this river is the world. So it took us away quick from the Lord. The things, the lust of the eyes, the lust of the heart, they took us away quick from the Lord. Now when we reach to the end of the river, we realize, hey, this is not where we want to be. This is not where we want to be. So now we decide, hey, we have to turn back. We're going back to we remember our first love. We're going back to our resting place. Getting back to your resting place ain't gonna be easy because guess what? You have to tread rough waters, strong currents to reach back to your resting place, which is the Lord. So the effort that you put in to leave, you have to pay in 10 times as much as that to come in to show the Lord that you want this, that you're deserving of this. You don't just come back to the Lord. You don't just get the easy way back. It's a deep water on one side and a fire on the next. All right? So you're going to catch hell coming back to the Lord. All right? This road ain't going to be easy. So you have to know what you signed up for. All right? Verse 30 says, having the same conflict, because you saw Paul treading them rapids. All right? Having the same conflicts which you saw in me and now here to be in me. So we're gonna go through them rapids. We have to go through. When you swimming upstream, guess what? You know you have to put in some work to reach back to where you want to be. All right, and guess what? That is all for the love of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, because we allowed ourselves to be swept away, and now we have to make it back up. We have to make it back up to the Lord. All right, so we have to tread. All right. So make up your mind when you come in this truth. You know that you're going to tread some rapids, some strong currents just to reach back. It ain't going to be easy. Nobody told you this truth going to be easy. All right? And a lot of times people leave it because they find too much tribulation comes to them. You know, people start hating them. They start to become an outcast. No, you instead of become an outcast, they hate the light. So the world will the darkness will automatically separate from the light. It's science. You will have darkness, but when a light comes, darkness immediately removes some in the presence of the light. They can't help it. They can't help it. All right. This is 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 1. It says, for as much then as Mashiach has suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves with this, likewise with the same mind. So just like Yahushua suffered in the flesh, we saw what happened to Yahushua. Arm yourself with that same mind. Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself with that same mind. It says, for he that had suffered in the flesh had ceased from sin. So just like Yahushua suffered, as the scripture we just read in Philippians, we also going to suffer for his sake. We also going to suffer for his sake. The scripture said, the disciple is not above his master. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. We're not going to escape it. Remember this. When you come into this truth, you are going to catch hell. You will lose jobs. You will lose friends. You will lose love interests. You will lose family members. Hey, you might even lose your life. Because the scripture said, his faithful witness. When you look up the word witness, it goes back to the word martyr, which means, hey, somebody who gives up their life. The Lord said it. If you don't sacrifice all for him, then mother, father, or no, you're not deserving of him. All right? So you have to arm yourself with the same mind that we're gonna lose. We're gonna catch hell in this truth. All right, you see a lot of videos where people saying, "Oh, how I survived Hebrew Israelite." A woman might do, "Oh, I had a Hebrew Israelite husband, and he wasn't good. He was so domineering and so strict and so controlling. He wanted me to cover my head. He wanted me to put on dresses. And so what? So what? You so love being dressed up like a harlot, playing Halloween all year round. All right." So what if you come into this truth and you in a camp and your camp leader, he talks a little rough to you? So what? All right, as long as he instructs you in the right way, hey, just do it. I ain't accustomed to nobody telling me to when to do, or I might come late to the camp, and then he angry, and if I don't do the homework, it's an issue, and why they always want me to do videos. Guess what? Then don't come, don't come around. This is not the place for that. When you come into this truth, guess what? There's a certain protocol you have to follow. There's a certain protocol you have to follow, and you either follow it or you dismiss yourself. When you come into this truth, know what you signed up for. All right? Know what you signed up for. As scripture says, arm yourself with the same mind. All right? This is the book of Acts chapter 14 and verse 22. It says, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith. This is what we're doing, exhorting you to continue in the faith. Don't let these small tribulation, because the scripture says, take ye my burden, for my burden is easy and my yoke is light. The scriptures talk about our slight affliction. Our light affliction ain't nothing compared to the glory that's going to be revealed in us. The hell that we catch, it ain't nothing. Ain't nothing compared to what we're going to get. Which one of you ever been stringed up on a cross and left with nails in your hands and your feet and a sword and a spear in your side? Which one? Which one of us backs been opened up with whips? So a little hell and you want to leave? But in the days when trouble come, then you want to call on the Lord and say, Lord, save me. It don't happen like that. The scripture said, he that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved. Acts 14:22, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of heaven. Not some, not few, but much tribulation enter into the kingdom of heaven. We're going to catch hell. And I will always quote what the great apostle has said. You are going to suffer, so learn how to suffer. You're not going to escape it. All right, there's no other entrance into this truth or into the kingdom other than through this narrow gate. The scripture said in Matthew 7, I believe verse 14. I know it's in Matthew 7, it says, enter at the straight gate. When you look at the word straight, it means a position of difficulty. You're going to be in difficulties. You're going to be in difficulties. Don't run from it. Embrace it. Arm yourself with the same mind. All right? This is 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 18. It says, servants, be subject to your masters with all fear, not only to the good and gentle, but also to the froward. So them that be harsh, them that be strict, severe, the scripture says, and the Lord is an austere man. So be subject unto them. Not because someone is strict, you can say, nah, I don't want to be in this. I don't like nobody talk to me like this. I'm not accustomed to this. Now, guess what? Stop being a pussy. All right? Power with a weak nature, as the scripture says. You woman, if your husband being strict, hey, guess what? Do it. You buck up against your husband. Who you think gonna be a helper in the days of trouble? Because you leave your husband now, guess what? He sure as hell ain't gonna turn to your aid in the days of trouble because he wants you to cover your head and wear a dress. There's the big issue because he wants another wife. That is the big problem. All right. In that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man. But some of you women are just say, well, this is not the days. That day is gonna come. And guess what? Hey, if you can't be for this truth now, don't be faith later. If you can't be for this truth now, don't be faith later. All right. Verse 19, it says, for this is thankworthy if a man for conscience towards Yahweh endure grief, suffering wrongfully. All right. So endure the grief. The scripture says, let none of you suffer as a thief or murderer. So you're going to suffer. You suffer, for things that you ain't do. You might be backed up because, somebody accuse you of something and you ain't do it. But as the scripture says, hey, take it patiently. All right. Take it patiently. But endure, constantly endure. Set your heart aright and constantly endure. All right. Obey them that have rule over you. You young men and you women that come into the truth, obey them that have rule over you. All right. Going on. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 10 and verse 38. It says, and he that taketh not his cross and follow after me is not worthy of me. So if you don't take up your cross, take up this hardship, because when you look up cross in the blue letter, it says it was a sign of great shame, a very shameful way to die. All right, so being in this truth, guess what? We're gonna be put to shame. We're gonna be laughed at. As the scripture said, we are the offscoring of all people. We're gonna be laughed at. We're gonna be ridiculed. All right, we're gonna be talked shit about. But if you don't take up your cross and follow after the Lord and arm yourself with the same mind, guess what? You're not worthy of him. So then, therefore, if you're not worthy of him, then you're not worthy of his salvation, nor his help in the days of trouble. If you think that is a shameful thing to be in the street, you can't be seen on the street corners in dresses, as they say, heralding the coming of the Lord. You don't want nobody to see like this. No, my friends can't see me with my hair covered. I look like an old woman. Guess what? Then you're not worthy to call upon the name of the Lord, and you will not be deserving of salvation in the day of trouble. Point blank. Point blank. That is how it goes. If you're ashamed of him now, he's gonna be ashamed of you. So you'll have to learn to catch hell, as the scripture said in Hebrews 2 and 10. It behoved him to basically to make the captain of their salvation perfect through suffering. So all them tribulation and suffering that you go through is actually to wean the world away from you, to make you perfect. When your husband being strict and probably be a lion, guess what? It's all for you to learn humility. You can't be that strict. It's for you to learn humility. All right? That is all. For you to learn humility and put away worldly views and aspects. That is all you have to do. Put them away. All right? The final precept here is 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 8. It says, we are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. I know tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. Remember this. Verse 9, persecuted, but not forsaken. The Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, he always has our back. We persecuted, but not forsaken. He always there with us. Cast down, but not destroyed. Just remember that. It says, always bearing about in the body the dying of Yahweh and the Lord Yahweh Shai. Arm yourselves with the same mind. It says that the life also of Yahweh Shai might be made manifest in our body. All right? Because guess what? We are walking personifications of Yahweh Shai. All right? You believe, as the scripture says, be followers of me as I am followers of Mashiach. I'm myself of the same mind. All right. The scripture said, ye are all epistles written in your hand, walking personifications. All right. It says, for we which live are always delivered unto death for Mashiach's sake. Paul said, I die daily, that the life also of Yahweh Shai might be made manifest in our mortal flesh. So we have to put away that old man and walk in that newness of life. And the tribulations that we endure, it only gonna make us more humble. And guess what? That light that within us gonna shine out. That light which is Yahweh Shai, it gonna shine out, and the world will see it and behold it and know that, hey, these are the men of the Lord. These are the men of the Lord. All right. I'm sure, brothers or sisters probably have, cases where they were just about their normal business, and someone just look at them and say, you look different. There's something about you, it's just different. There's a light about you. I've experienced it. Other brothers I know have experienced it. Because why? That light within you shines out, and the world sees it when you start making that physical and spiritual change. All right? So make that change and know what you signed up for. All right? You signed up to serve and worship Yahweh Hashem Yahushai in spirit and in truth. All right? So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. I want to give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone that do rule well. Salutations to the men of the hopeful and saints elect. This is your brother Makazar from the Trinidad camp saying shalom and stay strong. Shalom.